Hi everybody, this is Jill from asparkleinthedark.com. I'm here to talk with you today about using natural objects in personal or home and land healing. Today's topic is feathers. Feathers are a wonderful tool for using in personal or home and land healing. What do they do? Well, if you look at a feather, it actually looks like a little broom. And what feathers do is they move energy. So say you're doing energy work on someone. Say you're doing a Reiki session on someone and you pull out a feather. One of the things that you can do with a person, especially if you notice that they have a lot of stagnant energy in their aura, is to help use the feather to move the energy in their aura. It actually feels like you're getting a nice, sweeping, loving, beautiful energy. I mean, when you love to be cuddled by a bird, cuddled, not pecked, but cuddled, but you just use the feather as you're moving through the aura, and it helps to actually move energy. I've used feathers in meditation. I've also used them when I'm leading people to go inside themselves and connect with either their inner self or their spirit guides. And what I've done actually is I'll put them in a place of this meeting place where they can meet with their guides, and then I would sit there and pull out my raven feather. And my raven feather, if you know anything about ravens and crows, which you might if you're watching this, is that ravens and crows are kind of like the bird that guards the doorway to magic. Magic is just a word. It kind of encapsulates how our life is anyway. Our life, everyone's life, is very magical. And we create in our life what we perceive. So, I mean, we could get into a really long discussion about this, but basically, ravens and crows are the messengers to the gateway of magic and how we perceive magic in the world, and it connects us with really, really fun stuff. It actually helps us to connect with our inner selves. So if you wave it over your head, which is what I was told by Spirit, and you'll go around each person's head and wave this above their head, because this is the divine chakra up here, so it's the connection to the all that is. And you just wave it up here, it actually helps to heighten the person's vibration. We all vibrate at a certain rate of speed, and the higher our vibration is, the deeper we go into, say, trance or channeling state or mediumship state. And also, in that same state, we're able to connect with higher vibrational beings. So, waving this helped to heighten the people's vibration, so they were able to connect in a deeper way than they would have otherwise. So it was a good tool. I wouldn't say that it was the only thing that created that experience for them, but it certainly was a good tool in heightening that experience. So those are two ways. One is brushing the aura and clearing out any kind of stagnant energy, any energy that might be pooling there. You can also wave it underneath the feet if you're doing Reiki or you're doing some other energy work. You wave it under the feet, and that helps to clear anything that might be it's hard to keep it in a nutshell, but your feet are your path. It's what you walk in life. Your feet are your vehicle to get through life. So your feet hold all kinds of information about your path, not only in this life, but in every other life that you've had. So it helps to clean up some of that as well. Another way to use feathers, we're talking about moving energy, is when you're doing smudge work. Say you're either smudging the person you're working with, smudging yourself, or smudging a home that you're working with, or the land. Smudging actually helps to clear out stagnant and negative energy as well. And if you're not familiar with smudging, it's just a technique where you use different herbs and the smoke of different herbs to clean out a space. And the most popular herb would be sage. So let's say you use white sage, you use desert sage. Or you can even use woods like Palo Santo, which is a holy wood from Peru. And it smells wonderful. Anyway, it helps to clear out your space. It also can clear out your aura. So if you have a lot of junk in your aura, it could have come from some encounter with another person who may have been negative. Maybe they came and they told you all about their sob stories and left all this energy on you, making you feel drained and just tired. Well, smudging helps to clear that out of your aura so you can feel a little more energized. You can feel free of that energy. It helps you to release that energy. And then what you would also use in smudging, aside from the sage or Palo Santo, whatever your personal belief system says you use, you can also use something like sweetgrass because you want to bring in positive influences, and it is believed that sweetgrass will actually help bring in positive influences in your life. So let's say that you're at a home and you're smudging it. The feather helps to move the smoke into each of the corners of the rooms that you're working in so that you've reached every possible part of the room. It is believed that when you are smudging, that the negative energies that may be in the room actually move up into the corners because they think that's far away from you. So it is believed that what you're going to do is send the smoke from the sage up into each corner of the room and down into each corner of the room so it can't hide from you. And it clears everything out. Then you want to go behind. Now that you've cleared everything, you want to bring in positive influences. And the sweetgrass braid will help you do that. And the other herbs that you can use are, you could use roses, you could use lavender, if you wish. But the feathers, how you're going to send that up into the different corners. There are as many feathers as there are birds. Oh, another cool thing that someone told me recently is whenever you're out in nature and you come across a feather, it is to let you know that you're on the right path. And what a cool way to figure it out. And because I own so many feathers and so many people have given me so many feathers over the years, and I've actually gifted feathers out to people because I can't possibly house that many feathers, it lets me know that I'm on the right path. So if you find them, if you start to find quite a few, just know that you're going in the right direction for yourself. Each bird also, there's many feathers, there's many birds, and each bird has its own wisdom. And it is believed that the raven is the messenger, or not the messenger, but the kind of guardian to the doorways of the mystery, we'll say. Instead of magic, we can use the word mystery. The unseen, the unknown can be known. This, I believe, is, I think this is a goose feather because of the long quill and the type of feather it is. It looks very similar to this, which is also very stiff. This is another part of the goose. I know this is a goose feather. And goose, for me, whenever I see a goose, it makes me think of movement along the soul's path. And that whenever I see it, I know that I'm getting ready to move forward. And in your healing work, you can use different feathers to focus different energies or different intentions in the work that you're doing. So if you're working with someone who's having a difficult time moving through their life, the goose feather may be beneficial in order to help focus the energy of movement forward. So maybe that'll get them unstuck, and maybe they'll feel free to move on in their life to new and better things. Hopefully. There's also a hawk feather. This one I found actually in a bush in a house that my husband and I were looking at. And I thought when I found this that was our house, but it turned out not to be the right house. But I was there to pick up this hawk feather. That's what I do believe. Hawk is about protection and focusing on what you want. So this is great too in healing work. If you're working with someone who is trying to focus on something in their life or having trouble focusing, this may help them to do that. Now this, because it's illegal to own an eagle feather, this is a turkey feather painted like an eagle feather. And I bought this actually as a smudging tool with some sage that I had purchased. And you can see I've used it many, many times over the years that I've had it. Now, once people realized that I was collecting feathers because I am a bird person, I started receiving so many of them. I think I've already told you that, right? And so I have different feathers people sent me, and I believe that when you're collecting feathers, you should really be the one to pick them up. You should be the one to collect them. And whenever you pick up a feather in the wild, always leave a thank you, or an offering is what it's called in shamanism. And you can bring cornmeal for that. You can bring tobacco for that. Or I was also taught that if you leave a strand of your hair behind as a thank you, that works too. But when people gift feathers to you, it's kind of difficult to understand what to do with them, because I feel that objects should be picked up by the person who owns them, not given to other people or given to someone. But I do appreciate when people gift me with bird feathers, especially if it's a bird that is not native to my area. That way, I can collect different bird wisdom or bird magic or bird energy, whatever you want to call it. This is a cardinal feather. This is a cardinal that lost its life to a kitty in my area. And I just have tons and lots of different kinds of feathers. I've used them to move energy through a person's aura. I've used them in meditation to focus energy a certain way. I've used them for other people when they're trying to focus on something. I've used them just laying them on a person to just help calm them and help them to feel protected. Just there's so many different ways that Spirit can teach us to use feathers and other natural objects. This one I believe is, gosh, what is this one? Maybe a woodpecker? I have woodpecker feathers too. I just have all different kinds. And woodpecker is actually the bird that is the drum or the heartbeat of the earth. So if you're being called to get back to earth, that you may find a woodpecker feather somewhere. But that's just a little bit about feathers. If you have any questions or if you have anything that you want to add, I'm always so happy to learn even more about how to work with different natural objects and healing work. And you can get in touch with me at asparkleinthedark.com, or you can email me at Jill A. Slutsky at yahoo.com, and have a great day. Thank you.